And I'm talking to you from the road, and I want to share with you how things are going and what's going on here, because in all honesty I am feeling really frustrated and defeated and heartbroken. I guess that's the real thing that I'm feeling, is heartbroken, because my daughter and I decided to head out across this country, and we're going to go on a summer quest to connect, and to part of the quest was to find the most beautiful places along the way, and to be able to camp and be with the woods and with nature, and be with the waters and pray with the waters, and be with the land and pray with the land, and really have that kind of summer connection, you know, the time when it's warm and beautiful and we want to be outside. And what we found along the way is that it's really actually quite hard to access nature in this country at this time. And you know, we've been stuck in this little car on this big highway with these big trucks, and what we see around us are endless fields of corn. So you might think, well, that's nature, the big open spaces, and you know, it's so not. It's this genetically modified cornfields all across the center of this country. Also, what we see is lots of industrialized pockets with factories and prisons and strip malls, and you know, that's often when you get off the highway, that's what's right there. And then even as we've ventured off and away from the highway, trying to find the good spots, it's just it's really all private land, you know, and really just like inhospitable places to be able to get out of the car and just be. And it seems almost unbelievable, and it seems crazy, but we've just traveled from southern Colorado all the way to Ohio. We're in Ohio now, and we haven't been able to actually like get out of the car and get our feet on the ground and go even for a little walk. It's actually really sad. It's really this is crazy. We planned ahead to find a good campsite in Indiana last night. That was the idea after our attempt to camp in Nebraska failed utterly, and we had to sleep in a Motel 6. We looked ahead online, and we made the phone calls, and we got it all lined up. We were going to go to this place in Indiana that looked awesome, and it was so cool. And it was like an hour off the interstate, and so we got out the interstate. We drove and drove and drove, and we were getting out there into, you know, what seemed like a really rural place. And we got there finally to this place, and we're driving down this misty road, and you know, for us, we're coming from the desert, and so these big trees and the green already feels like so inviting and so wonderful. And we were so excited. We found a little oasis of a place that you're allowed to camp. It's a little campground area. And we got there, and there was a guard at the gate, and I had called ahead, and they told us it was okay to come in late and, you know, self-register. We got there, and the guard at the gate was like, "Oh, I can't let you in, you know, there's these rules and those rules, and I'm sorry, you can't come and camp here even though there's campsites." And it's like at the end of this long day, and every effort in the best way possible to make it a reality for us to be able to just get out of our cars and sleep on the ground for one night. The end of that story last night was, "No, ma'am, I'm sorry. That, you know, I don't want to lose my job. I could lose my job if I let you guys sleep on the ground over here tonight." And he was a kind kid. I mean, really sweet kid, and he was being honest, and he got it. But he also was just, you know, having to protect his job, having to follow the rules that were in place for him. And sadder than that, even worse than that, is that he said, you know, and I hate to tell you this, I'm embarrassed to tell you this actually, but But this county that I was born in and grew up in, was raised in, this county that I love so much is one of the most, is one of the worst meth scenes that we got here in Indiana. And I don't feel comfortable telling you guys that you could just kind of go camp on the side of the road somewhere, because not only, you know, is it all private property and you can get the cops called on you, you can have that kind of situation, but it's dangerous out there. And so what we found, you know, what we found along the way is that you're not allowed to just be free and wander around in this country. Not allowed to go find your own place to sleep and to walk and to camp and to be. And if you really make the effort to get to a place that you are allowed to, you know, there are all of these rules around it that, you know, and I'm not being, you know, I'm not being flaky here, I'm not being a loser. I made the call, I talked to the guy, he said it was okay, we had a plan, we had the directions, we got there. We put a huge amount of effort to getting into a place that we could actually just literally get out of the car and rest with nature for a little while. And we got there and were turned away, and not only turned away but also said, you know, the safest place for you guys is going to be in a hotel. That's the only place that you guys are going to be safe. And so that's the sad truth of it, and that was the situation. That was the only place that we were going to be safe. And so we went to a hotel in the middle of the night. You know, I gave them all my information, my name and my phone number and all of the things like that, and I signed in and I gave them my credit card and paid for the room, and then we got to lock the door behind us and be in our own little prison cell with, you know, the chemical smells of the carpet cleaner and the hum of the refrigerator and all of the beautiful accoutrements that you get when you pay and sign up to lock yourself away in a little climate-controlled cell. And so I'm speaking to you just honestly right here from the road, brokenhearted, wanting, really desperate to connect with this beautiful countryside around, and finding it all fenced off and closed in. So that's my report from the road, and my longing from my heart is that we all will be able to connect with the earth once again. We all will be able to hear her call. We'll find our way back home to her. Alright, thanks for listening. Peace.